Okay, so I'm just gonna start and go left to right. So here on our wall, we have our books. These are only library books, so the kids know that any books on these shelves, when they use them, they have to put them back because they do not belong to us. I try to keep the ones that are not hardcover a little higher, so my little one can't grab them, but the big kids just mix it all up, so they're kind of all mixed up. But these are our library books. And I always, of course, make sure to get books that tie in with the theme or the holiday or whatever unit we're learning about. And because right now the room is set up for our ocean theme, this is why everything is blue. Everything is blue. We are learning about whales, jellyfish, sea turtles, sharks, all the things. So what I also try to do is, it takes me a bit, but I try to go through the library website and pull out or request books that work for all 4 ages that I homeschool a couple days a week, because 2 days out of the week we have 2 other kids that join us, and so they're 13 and 6, and then my little ones, of course, are in preschool and in 3rd grade. So I have to make sure I get books that work for all of those ages, so that I'm not going to the library 1,000 times a month. So a little bit of everything there. So we pan over here. This is our first unit here. Every kiddo has their own basket, and you can tell this is a realistic representation of how summer's going, where it's just all over the place, a lot of art. So we absolutely have to go through these bins and fix these for the new school year, which that's on the to-do list. We're not near starting our school year yet, so that's not a priority right now. We have our Bible, the Yodo. This is our Jack and Link dry erase mini boards. We're working on growing our collection of those, so that's there. These are chapter books for my 8-year-old and then the 13-year-old that I help homeschool. This is more their age level. I want to build more for her because she's, of course, already a teenager. So I want to work on growing this library for her. But for the most part, she enjoys these books, and my 8-year-old enjoys these books. So this is all for them. These are all reference books that we have up here. So anytime they have a question, anything they're curious about that we might not necessarily be covering that day or even that week or that month, they can hop up on their step stool and then pluck out whatever book they're interested in learning more about. This up here is our treasure box. We're not using it for the summer because I don't want it to lose its appeal. So that'll be something that we'll be starting to use in the new school year. Every Friday, as long as all of their lessons were completed, all of the chores were met on time without any fuss or anything, they can take something out from there. I just usually just go to Dollar Tree or order like wholesale trinkets from Amazon and just throw them in there, and they're able to pick something out every Friday. I have my Cricut maker here. Haven't been able to use her as much with summer camp going on. Haven't had much time, but she's just beautiful, and I really can't wait to have a little more time. Once summer camp is over, we'll be taking 2 weeks off to just decompress, and then that's gonna be my time to also decompress and reset myself for the new school year. So I'm gonna have a lot of playtime with that. We have our Jack and Link collection here. We have our wooden boards up there, the spelling bar, the copy work board, the peekaboo board, the 100 counting also up there. We have our dry erase boards also from Jack and Link. If you can't tell that we're obsessed, we really are. Truly, we really are. These are some papers. I'm not keeping this for the school year forever here because it just ends up all over the floor. So I have to find a better system for it. But now for summer, it's really not a big deal. This is curriculum that we're all done with that I am selling Facebook Marketplace, waiting for some moms who are interested to let me know if they actually want it. Because it's summer, this stays out all the time. They can paint whenever they'd like. For the school year, that will not be there. I'm going to move it probably into one of these. Moving on to the third unit that we have here. We have our display board here for books. We usually use it for textbooks, like our Knotgrass textbook. I only have one textbook that the 3 older kiddos share. So usually I'll open it to whatever state we're learning about. And then just use that to leave it opened. Our globe, of course, gotta have one, or you even a homeschool space if you don't have a globe, right? These are all picture books. They are higher up because not many of them are, most of them are not hardback, and I don't want my little one to ruin them. So those are books that my oldest, who's 8, has had most of these since he was tiny. So they're also like family treasures. So we do pull them out and read them with her or any of the kids whenever they like. So she knows she can come up here. She gets on her step stool and she stands up with me and she takes them down, and that's no problem. She's really good with that. Let's see, this is our little family here. I want to use this shelf to grow more of our chapter books, like what I was mentioning over there, but I haven't figured out which ones I want to order. So right now this is just a display shelf where I have books that match whatever theme we're learning about, just to tie the theme into our display as well. Here we have a craft box, so they can pull this box down anytime they like. They don't need permission from me. It's full of things that they can use with no problem. Here, let me just bring this over here. So we have popsicle sticks. What else? A bunch of markers in here. I have washi tape in there. These the stamp dot things here. What are these things called? Some stickers. Oh, and then I have these sticks here. Yeah, the paint sticks. They were using them. They didn't get to put that one back. So that's what this is full of. The glue is always out, so I don't put that in here. They can grab that whenever they like. So for summer, this is our craft box. So that just sits there. Low enough where the 3 older kids can grab it. Not low enough where my little one can grab it. So that's perfect height for that. So over here, our Jack and Link obsession continues. These are the mini writables that I use to take learning off the page, specifically for my 8-year-old. He's a kinesthetic learner, and so he needs to be moving stuff around. He needs to play games. He needs to be writing under things, above things, matching pieces. That's how best he learns. So that's, of course, how I teach him. So I usually leave in this basket whatever mini writables we're using that match the theme or the holiday or the season that we're in. So we have our raindrops, our ice cubes, because I use them with the lemon wedges, and then I use our pitcher mini board. So he makes like lemonade for math and language arts. The sun, of course, because it's 1,000 degrees out. And then I still have some flowers here. This was for spring, but the 13-year-old that I help homeschool, she enjoys that very much, and she even uses this. So that's a whole other video, how you can use Jack and Link from literally 2 years old up until middle school and even high school. So, but that's a conversation for another day, because I'll be here forever. And then, of course, we have our little cutie patootie clouds. So then in here, we have the rest of our Jack and Link. This is something we're going to be using for the new school year, so I don't have it out yet. This goes with the copy board. We put that right in there. These also go on the copy board. And then, let's see, I have the writable squares that we are working on collecting. So these are the ones we have so far. And then as, of course, the seasons come by, I want to pick up some black and orange ones for like October and Halloween. I don't know if she has them in brown, but I would love to pick those up too for the fall. So that's that. And in here, it's not very organized, but this is true, real life. These are the mini writables that are themed. So in here I have the solid squares. And here we have the themed ones. So we have carrots and the carrot tops. We have baskets. We have eggs. We have the snowflakes. We have bunnies. A bunch of stuffed snowmen in there. We have apples. Santa's boots are in here somewhere. We have Christmas trees in there. So I have to figure out better organization for this. But it's not, I first need to organize so much more let me put this back. I first need to organize so much more before the school year starts, so this is on my to-do list. And then these are the solids. And then right on top, I leave the basket for the mini writables that I can just pull out from when I'm prepping summer camp or summer school, whatever lessons. I just take these out there. Once the season has passed, I'll just rotate, and that makes my life a lot easier instead of having to dig in through this every week. Again, these are my other two students. So this is my preschooler. She chose that box, so that's hers. I have to label these. I'm going to use my Cricut machine to label their names. So that is everything on the top half. I believe I got it all. So down here, I won't go through all of them, but I have storage bins with manipulatives here. I can explain in another video how I use these. They're not a free-for-all where the kids can just take them out whenever they like, as often as they like. I do have a system in place so that we don't lose pieces too much, so that the room is not huge space. So I can't have 4 kids have all of these out at the same time. It just wouldn't work, and it also wouldn't be safe. I don't want any of the kiddos tripping over each other or anything. So I do have a system in place on how I use that. If you'd like me to chat about that, I definitely can. Just let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd be interested in. I can also pull these out when I have a bit more time to go through it, to show what I have. So I can also do that. If that's of interest to you, please let me know. This one's empty because I really want to dedicate this to my Cricut crafting stuff. So I don't have anything in there yet because I don't have a lot of Cricut tools yet or materials and supplies yet. So that's something I have to work on. That's just my little hobby. So that's empty. And then over here, we have manipulatives that continue. But instead of being manipulatives where they can build things, this is more like art stuff. So we have some Play-Doh there, some stampers for that. I have some other puzzles and coloring. These are empty down here because what I do is at the end of every few months, our next meeting will be in next week actually. I asked the kids what are some things that they like about homeschool, what are some things that they would want to do different, what are some things they feel are missing or would enjoy. And so I left some of these bins empty for that, so that if they give me feedback with things that I can find and store for them, then that's what I want to do. So I have these 4 empty here to see if each kiddo wants to share something that they would like. Maybe my son would like a bit more Legos. Maybe the 6-year-old would like more arts and craft type stuff. I don't know. So I left that available and open for them so that I can put away what it is they're gonna like. So again, I can totally pluck these out and go through them and show what's in them if that's something that you guys are interested in. They're actually almost done having lunch right now, so that's why I don't quite have the time now to pull everything out, but I absolutely can. Again, just let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd be interested in checking out. So that's this half of the wall. Oh, Peanut's piano. My 8-year-old is in piano lessons. He takes those. And then these are 2 puzzles that I have the kids use. If I'm working with one kiddo, the other 2 or 3 can work on one of these puzzles. So I have those out available at all times. And now I think I finally got the other half, this half of the room. I think that's everything. Okay, on this side of the wall, I don't always have that. That's just for summer. I just want to make it fun and bright and vibrant for them. So I do have that up there. This is our post-it sticker type of thing that is also dry erase. So that's very convenient because I haven't pulled the trigger on committing to actually buying a whiteboard to install it on the wall. I'm not sure yet what size. So that's a great in between. We have our read aloud for the summer here, our wet erase chalk markers, dry erase markers, our pointer. I made all this here and I wanted to make it very customizable. So I have a bunch of these squares here with different things on them. So we keep that in here. has all the holidays and special days. I can also go through that if you like. We have our numbers here for our calendar, our months of the year. I made all this using Canva, super easy. Made the arrows too, also super easy. Just pop some Velcro on there and we go through our letters, numbers, days of the week, months of the years, colors, shapes in English and in Spanish. And then this is our little morning meeting area. I'd love to get some pillows for the new school year. So we'll see how that goes. Got to find which size. I don't want it to be too big because I want the kids to have space to play, but not too small where they're fighting over the pillow. So I'll figure that out. So that's this part of the room. Just printed those out from Canva and taped them to some of the balloons. And they loved it when they came in for the first day of summer camp. Loved it. All right, so this we had here before this became a homeschool room and we've loved it, so I just left it there for now. This is my little corner of paradise here. I have my Laurel Denise planner. I take some notes here. This is an example of when I meet with the kids, what they each tell me they would like to see different or would like to learn about. I have all my drawers here. I have them all organized. Again, I can go through that if you'd like. Let me know in the comments below. I found these on Amazon. Thank God they did not come in broken, but I do have to fill them up. I want to do one with hand sanitizer and the other with lotion. So that's that. Our little sharpener, which the kids love using. This is the book I'm reading right now, and oh my goodness, it is everything. Yep, that's one of those days. Got my phone always there. So this is my little corner of planning. This is where I plan everything for all 4 kiddos. Excuse the mess out there. We have their little playhouse here. Here we have our oil diffuser. They love having that on. This holds all the cables, so I love that. I don't want the kiddos tripping over any of that stuff. So let's see. Oh, then we have our sensory table. I change this about every 2 to 3 weeks. If they're loving it and they're enjoying it, I leave it as is. I don't change anything. And right now inside we have sand, of course, right? So this is what we have inside for now. I'll be changing this, of course, after summer camp. Not exactly fall stuff, but I have to figure out what to do for the new school year. And here we have plain sand. And the things that are in here, they swap. Sometimes this is the bin that's full and the other one's not, and vice versa, and that's totally okay. And then to wrap up the room, we have our, oops, oh yeah, we have jellyfish hung up. To wrap up the room, we have our calendar. This is what they're doing now, which is why I have about 5 minutes before they're all done. I made this myself because I couldn't find a company or a website that was making cards that I needed specifically for what we do. And at this point, I made this a year ago, and at this point I have over maybe 30-40 cards. This is just what today looks like, our daily schedule. And so we're up to here. We have one art thing to do, and then free play, and then my son goes to piano lessons later on today. So that's why that's there, just to remind him that that's what he has going on. And I have a ton of these. I keep them at my desk in the top drawer. I can definitely show those to you if you like as well. But it helps the kids know what's coming next. I use my planner to plug in what each child is doing for math or writing or language arts or whatever it may be. But then they can see what's coming next. And so that makes all of our lives a lot easier. It flows a lot better because they know what's coming. And so they know if it's math, they go to their student box and go get their math book out. In between this, of course, we have breaks. I just didn't want to make 5 cards for every time we take a break. So they know that they get breaks in between that. We don't go from language arts to writing to math straight with, of course, no in between. Again, I just didn't want to make it 10 feet long so that I can fit in cards for breaks every time we do take one, but we do take them consistently. You have to with 4 kiddos. They burn out, I burn out, and sometimes we just need a break to regroup. This basket here has 4 like individual rugs. So they take one of these, something from the Manipulatives, and they sit on the carpet right over there, and whatever's on that their individual carpet is what they're playing with. When they're done with that, they put the manipulative away and they can go grab something else. And that is just one way that I keep my sanity, to be quite frank with you, because they know whatever's on their individual carpet, they're not that big. See? Whatever's on their individual carpet, that's what they play with. And if they want to play with something different, they first have to put that first manipulative away. And when they're done with everything, they just put them right back. So it keeps everything in one area. So I don't have Legos all over the place or blocks all over the place. I learned it when I was teaching Montessori in a Montessori school. And it changed my life when it comes to organizing somewhat or keeping somewhat of the mess organized and not just literally all over the place. Do you see my seaweed? I try my best to make it look like seaweed. It's been a couple weeks now that I've had it up and the kids just rub and walk right by it. So it has seen better days, but it's seaweed nonetheless. Excuse the garbage can. We were doing some yard work yesterday and it just got way too hot. It was Sunday. It sounded like a great idea until it was 12 p.m. In Florida, and we decided that it was not going to work. So here's our room here. These are just the essentials, of course, that I keep. Crayons, markers, colored pencils, all those things. I have no problem leaving scissors. They're all pretty good with that. I've set that tone from the very beginning. I don't mind leaving scissors for you to use whenever you like. We just talked about scissor safety, and they get it. Even my youngest one, she gets it. So we do our morning journals here. Then we meet on the carpet. They do their lessons. Sometimes I do one-on-one work with the boys there while my 13-year-old works here. Sometimes she likes to lay out on the carpet and do that. And then the preschooler will be at the sensory table. So it flows really well. We love it, and we're so, so grateful. If you guys were to see how we started, it was a tiny, tiny cart with those two, you know, the two shelves, and that was it, because I only had my son that I was homeschooling, and that was 2 years ago. And now we homeschool 4 kiddos because we're helping the family that we help homeschool, and so this just fits better with where we are. It might not always be like this, but this works, and we're so incredibly grateful that we're able to do that. I'll link everything that I can think of down below in the description, but if there's anything I miss, please feel free to send me a